Coco almost got taken out when she ran into a gigantic dragon. And what happens next will catch you off guard. This anime will definitely surpass Frieren, and you'll soon understand why. It starts with a little girl arriving at a beautiful place. She walks in and makes her way to the center. This is Coco, an adorable and incredibly hardworking little girl, and she begins to stir a certain white liquid into the water. Then her dear friend appears. He stays there. Hey, my beloved, you're dirtying the water, come on. But the girl doesn't care and keeps washing her pee-soaked pillowcases. Then she stands up and says she's heading out, and not to worry, because the water would return to normal. But wait, how is it going back to normal? You just contaminated the water. It would take at least 30 days just to clear out that ramen broth you put in there. But what you didn't expect was that the lake automatically begins to glow, and it cleans the water in seconds. Deer is a little hesitant at first, but soon starts quenching his thirst. The girl says it's incredible. The use of magic is incredible. In this world, there are people who possess the power to use magic. These people are called witches. Everyone else, regular humans, cannot use magic because it's something you're born with, which is the case for Coco. She loves magic with all her soul. She grabs her sheets and tells them to become flying carpets. But it doesn't work that way. Then a strong wind blows and carries the sheet away, making her chase after it. Up in the sky, she spots a flying carriage, which completely enchants the girl. She rushes downstairs, calling out for her mother. Ooh, but when she opens the door, she bumps into a tall man with white hair. This is Cuff. I'd say he looks like the son of Satoru Gojo and Frieren. She apologizes and then notices there are noble visitors in the shop. They brought the carriage. Her mother then asks Coco to help, and that Satoru Gojo lookalike says he wants a smoke fabric. Coco volunteers to help him and says she can take his measurements. But first, she asks if she can go see the winged carriage. Seeing the mischievous look on her face, her mother lets her go. She's overjoyed and asks the man if he has his measurements. Then the girl gets to work. She lays out the fabric, and her concentration is absolutely surreal. She marks it out and draws a perfect line, and then comes the hardest part, cutting the fabric. Without even blinking, the girl cuts the fabric perfectly. But then she notices something. Cuff had been watching her work, and he's impressed. He says what she just did was out of this world. It was magic. Then the girl starts exclaiming, saying that magic is something brilliant and beautiful. And the man asks her why she loves magic so much. She tells him about her first experience with magic. Once, her mother took her to a fair at the castle. There she encountered a mysterious wizard. He asked if she was interested in an illustrated book, an impressive piece of magic. Now, who in their right mind would let their own daughter wander off like that? On top of that, talking to a stranger, Coco asks the wizard what magic is. And he tells her it's the miracle that gives color to the world, the carriage that flies through the sky, a flowing fountain, even the ground itself glowing. That leaves the little girl completely enchanted. It's like taking candy from a child. Cut to her mother, who asks why she bought a magic book. She says magic is cool, and then the girl tells her mother she wants to be a witch when she grows up. And her mother quickly crushes that dream, saying it's impossible for her to use magic, because only those born with the gift can become a witch. The ground glows, and her mother says that if it keeps glowing all the way home, then maybe she could be a witch. But we all know that's not what happened, and it's sad. Back to the present day, the girl never got over that trauma, and just as the man is about to ask something, an explosion goes off outside. Coco rushes out to see what happened, and two boys have just destroyed the noble's carriage. The noble women are furious about it. Then Cuff walks over to the carriage and says he can fix it, because he's a witch, and pulls his hat out of seemingly nowhere. But he says it would be a bit complicated to perform magic out in the open. Wait, why? Aren't you the one who does magic? Just do it right here. Then Coco steps in and says he can use the workshop in the shop. He tells Coco to stand guard at the door and not let anyone in. She's disappointed because she wanted to watch the magic happen. Then she spots those boys sneaking around trying to peek. She catches them in the act, but she's dying to sneak a peek herself. So when she opens the window to look, there's a cloth covering everything. Then a wind blows and gives Coco a window of opportunity. She quickly slips inside and tries to peek through the crack, but then remembers the promise she made, but the temptation is too strong, and she looks anyway. And then it shows us what real magic looks like, the artistry of it. The man uses a quill to trace lines onto the wheel. That thing Coco was given as a child. It wasn't a wand, it was a pen. And when the wizard finishes, an intense light is emitted. He calls out for Coco. She doesn't respond, and when he opens the door, there she is, covered in dirt. In the end, they managed to fix the carriage, and the wizard also departed. Coco's mother says she's relieved because she thought Coco was going to leave with the wizard. Her father passed away, and if she left, her mother wouldn't be able to survive without her. But Coco says she's not going anywhere. She would never abandon her mother. That night, they eat together and say their goodbyes. Coco goes to her room, picks up her wand, and removes the cap, and it really is a pen. The book she was given is full of patterns, and at the tip of the pen is a sphere containing magical ink. Then the girl starts drawing. Her curiosity was stronger than any promise. Hours pass. The girl tested what magic could do. She draws a pattern described in the book, but it didn't work, and she complains. But what she didn't expect was that the circle wasn't complete, and just a single drop of ink was enough to close the circle. A light ignited from the drawing, surprising her and leaving her overjoyed, and so she continues her experiments. Then we cut to the forest where the white-haired man is lying down. He was thinking about the book the girl mentioned. Then he notices something. Back at Coco's house, she uses a fire magic and starts putting it out with a pillow. It seems she had made a whole bunch of drawings. She discovered that larger drawings are more powerful than smaller ones, and well-drawn ones work better than messy ones. But precision is everything, so she decided to cut a drawing out of the book. Just as she was about to complete the drawing, something behind her was watching. When she finishes it, arms reach out from behind, grabbing her, and the circle lights up. The white-haired wizard leaps through the bedroom window, flying into the sky. He starts asking what magic she drew, and she says it was just a spell from the book. Down below, her mother calls out to her. Then a swarm of crystals erupts from inside the house. Coco screams out to her, but it's already too late. The crystals consume the woman in seconds, trapping her forever. The The girl starts fighting back, pushing Cuff's face away. He ends up releasing her, but quickly grabs her again before she crashes to the ground. Before he could reach her, the wizard flies into the air with her in his arms. She starts crying and apologizing. She was naive and didn't know what she was doing. And of course, the wizards keep their powers hidden so that people won't do exactly this, because anyone with a pen and paper can perform magic. Now he'll have to erase her memory, so she won't expose the wizard's secret. But she says he can't do that because she has to bring her mother back. Without her memories, who would do that? She can recite the book from memory. If Cuff learns about the book, he might be able to find out who's behind it. And so she says that if they find the book, they might be able to bring her mother back. Maybe that's possible. She begs him not to erase her memories. He asks if she'll keep the secret that wizards have kept for years. And he tells her that now she's going to become a witch. Episode 2. When Coco wakes up, Cuff tells her he called a carriage to come pick them up. Then he tells her they're almost at their destination. He points outside and shows her his home. And Coco's new school. Cuff planted some magical sentinel seeds near the girl's house in case any curious souls wander too close. But the girl is sad because she promised her mother she would never leave her behind. He comforts her and brings her inside, and then, just to blow her mind, he shows her something incredible, a kind of lampshade with water inside. She asks what that is. Water! I know it's water, but what's it supposed to do? Coco says she's afraid to touch unknown magic. Then out of nowhere, a pink-haired girl appears and tells her to relax. This is Teddy, one of Cuff's students. Teddy then shows her how the magic works. The magic draws moisture from the air and converts it into water, like a faucet. Then the girl starts talking about how many likes she got on her little TikTok dance, when Wright appears and tells Coco to ignore Teddy. She talks too much and works too little. Coco notices a paintbrush and ink in Wright's basket. She asks who they are, and Teddy says they're the Teacher Cuff students. Teddy asks where she came from. Coco says it hasn't been that long since she learned to use magic. Just about 24 hours. And now she's going to live with them. She shouldn't have said that. The girls stare at her with fear in their eyes. They say she's the girl who used forbidden magic, and on top of that, didn't get her memories erased. Cuff appears and interrupts, telling Teddy and Wright to go study in their rooms. He tells Coco to put on the outfit he brought. It fits perfectly. Then he tells her the history of magic. When you use ink and a pen and create circles with different symbols, anyone can use magic. But things got out of hand. People started drawing horrible spells. The few wizards who remained with any sanity left didn't want that anymore, so they erased magic from people's memories and only taught it to those who were deemed capable of keeping the secret. They made people believe that magic is only for those who are born knowing it. If this spreads, it will turn magic into a lawless land. The rumor of Coco using forbidden magic has already spread. The horrible spells that hurt people. And then Coco grabs onto him and says she wants to learn about forbidden magic because knowing nothing is terrifying. He reassures her, tells her to relax, that now he's going to show her something cool. He explains that forbidden magic includes things like altering age, teleportation, altering memories, manipulating emotions, and so on. But there's one exception. Memory erasure. In my opinion, that's the most dangerous one, but okay. He draws on a circular paper and places it in a lantern where a light appears. And then he says there's more. He starts turning some gears in a circle and a lake appears between them. It's real. Coco is stunned. In the distance, Cuff says there's a tower. That's the book library. Every book ever created is there. She says she wants to go there to find the book that contained the forbidden magic. But suddenly, an enormous monster appears. And then he says there's more. He starts turning some gears in a circle and a lake appears between them. It's real. Coco is stunned. In the distance, Cuff says there's a tower. That's the book library. Every book ever created is there. She says she wants to go there to find the book that contained the forbidden magic. But suddenly, an enormous monster appears, a sea king. It slaps its tail and drenches them both. Cuff tells Coco that the book tower is guarded by 4 librarians, and only skilled wizards with permission may enter. He tells Coco that when he saw how much she wanted to learn, he was happy. Beyond forbidden magic, there are spells that make people happy. Later that afternoon, Cuff shows his new student her room and knocks on a door. No one answers, and he says the other girl might not be there. You'll find out who she is soon enough. Then he shows her the room. The study area is shared, but the bedrooms are private. Cuff tells her to relax. If she needs anything, she can call for him. When he leaves the room, he picks up a kind of telephone and calls someone, mentioning Coco. He thanks someone for allowing her to become his apprentice. Coco looks around the work area, then a girl says that it belongs to her. Floating in the air is a girl. This is Agate. She tells Coco to get out of the way and lands. Coco greets her, but Agate says she already knows who she is and tells her she's sorry about her mother, that because of Coco, she'll never come back. Then she shows her hands. She studied so hard her fingers got stained, just to pass the test and become an apprentice, and Agate tells her she'll never become a witch. But Coco refuses to accept that. She says she will become a witch, so she can bring her mother back. Then Teddy and Wright come in, calling for Coco and Agate. Dinner is ready. It's Coco's welcome party. Right away. But Coco refuses to accept that. She says she will become a witch, so she can bring her mother back. Then Teddy and Wright come in, calling for Coco and Agate. Dinner is ready. It's Coco's welcome party. Right away, they see the food is the same as always. They complain to Cuff, who says it was last minute, so he couldn't do much. He asks about the emo girl, Agate. Teddy says she wants to eat in her room. Well, if that's what she wants, fine. And he tells Coco to give thanks for the meal. And so they start eating. Coco says the food is delicious. Cuff says the ingredients are grown nearby. Then Coco goes to bed. But as she lies down, she thinks of her mother, and the longing hits her hard. The next day, Coco is studying, and she says that what she needs to do to become a witch isn't written in any of these books. Then Cuff appears, startling the girl. He says some things aren't in books. Then he hands her a basket of drawing supplies. Still hesitant to pick up a pen again, but she'll try for the sake of saving her mother. Now she's motivated and starts studying right away. But there's so much to absorb. Cuff asks what she understood so far. Coco says in magic there are the drawings, the keys, which are the symbols. Those define the element, and when you close it with a circle, the magic activates. But that's all she can take in for now. So she starts drawing, but she quickly sees it's a mess and crumples it up. Cuff picks it up and looks at what she drew. When he looks, he says the magic wouldn't have worked because it was unfinished. Magic only activates when the circle is properly closed. Then Cuff tells her not to get frustrated, she's only just beginning. And when she completes the circle, a jet of water sprays the emo girl standing nearby, soaking her completely. Now you're in trouble, Coco. The girl starts apologizing. Agate says she's not angry. She asks to see Coco's drawing and points out that she made the key too large, causing the energy to accumulate there and spray water. And so Cuff says Agate and Coco will get along just fine. He announces he'll be leaving for 2 or 3 days. He'll be at the witch convention. Cuff tells Coco she'll learn a lot from her witch sisters. So Coco apologizes to Agate again. Agate tells her that magic is for the few. And Coco will have to prove she's capable of carrying such a heavy burden. The test is about to begin. Episode 3. The 3rd episode opens with Cuff arriving at a ruined place. But just look at that staircase, there's no way he's walking down that. And then he flies down. When he lands, a staff hooks onto his collar, pulling him to the ground. A mature woman's voice echoes. She says, why have stairs if nobody uses them? This is Alaya, and she calls Cuff the troublemaker of the Grand Hall. The woman already says she heard he has a new apprentice, and asks if she can have a connection with a group called the Wide-Brimmed Hats. But he gets annoyed and says he didn't come here to talk about that. And besides, she hasn't taken the test yet, so she's not officially his apprentice. Because the island where the test takes place is at maximum altitude, and it's dangerous. And what do we get? Cut to Coco and Agate. The girl tells Coco to take the test, but Coco seems a little suspicious. Agate says she took the test at age 10, and she's still alive. For the test, you can only bring 3 magical items, a drop of water, a compass, and a pen and paper, and you must bring back a flower called the Crown of the King. Before leaving, Coco asks if she can borrow Agate's shoes, because they have flying magic circles on them, but she quickly takes it back, saying she was already asking for too much, but Agate lends them anyway, and tosses the girl out through the portal window. Before closing it, she says the test can only be attempted once. Fail, and you'll never become a witch. And she leaves, abandoning Coco out there alone. Man, what a mean girl. I don't like Agate. Do you? Let me know in the comments. But moving on, Coco wonders how that compass works. Then the branch inside the sphere starts swinging wildly. It was pointing toward a specific place, and so the girl followed the path. When she arrived, there were many floating rock formations. I'm not even sure you could call them islands, but just look at the size of them. Now the problem is getting up there. But then she remembers the shoes Agate gave her, so she stands up and shouts fly. Girl, what do you think you are, Superman? There's a stance for that. You have to put your feet together. And then she starts to float, but she loses her balance and falls into a bush. And, as my grandfather used to say, intelligence can teach even a mute to speak. The girl gets back up, now determined. This time she manages, but it's still pretty hard for her. Then we cut to the bottom of the sea, where Cuff came to deliver Coco's initiation form, where she'll officially become a witch like her sisters. And who followed him there was Alaya, who says that if he lived in the Grand Hall, he wouldn't have to come all this way just to drop something off. And that's exactly why he only comes when he needs something. Then the seamstress hands the box to Cuff. The woman tells him to keep an eye on his apprentices. Who knows what they get up to without supervision? Back to the girl without supervision. She was practicing flying with Agate's shoes. She thought she was getting the hang of it. Or so she thought. She slips and resets back to 0, then grabs onto a vine when a long creature appears and zaps her right in the face, startling her with this white noodle thing. They both fall into the water, and Coco says that creature is a paintbrush larva. I'm going to call it Brush. They only made this creature to sell plush toys. Then Coco notices the shoes. They're damaged. Soul has ink, and without the circles, there's no way to fly. And there's no way to draw over it either, because the ink is gone. So now what? Cut to the atelier, where Teddy is looking for Coco. She asks Agate where she is, and Emo Girl says Coco is taking the test. Teddy says she's out there alone, without supervision, but Agate says they have to take the test before coming to the atelier. If she can't handle a simple test, she'll never become a witch. She doesn't like people who are better than her. I vote to throw her off the ship. And notably, Agate gave Coco those shoes precisely because even wearing them, she can't go that high. Then we cut to dinner, where Teddy has a bad feeling. Wright suddenly gets startled by something, and Teddy thinks she feels it too. But Wright is just hungry. We have to wait. We all have to work hard. Even at night, Coco is grinding away. She even tried drawing over the surface with leftover ink. But then she gets an idea. What if she draws on the soles of her feet? Nervous, she slowly begins removing her shoe, but then comes to her senses and puts it back on. That's forbidden magic. Drawing on your body is something only people with nothing better to do try. The girl loses hope. Anyone can do magic, but not just anyone can pull it off. The girls at the atelier have been drawing magic since they were very young. She wonders if she could do it too. Then she remembers her mother, who taught her how to draw guidelines on fabric. She's done that since she was small. She even remembered Cuff, the guy who abandoned her with the other girls. Then she has a shock. An idea. She heads into the forest, she brings back charcoal, tears off a rag, wraps it around the charcoal. The episode kicks off with Krife explaining sigils to Coco. Building on that, we have water. From rock to sand, that's the earth sigil. To reach places your feet can't, there's the wind sigil. And finally, the sword and shield of witches, the fire sigil. Witches call these the 4 fundamental magics. Krife decides it's time for practice, and we cut to Pencil taking a nap while Coco is busy drawing something. Teddy is with her. Suddenly, Coco screams. Spell went wrong, and now it's on fire. She panics, but Teti immediately splashes water on it. Coco thanks her, and Teti instantly brings up how many likes she got on Instagram. Teti asks what Coco was trying to do. She wanted to make a floating fire spell, but yeah, that didn't go as planned. Krife explains that fire is dangerous. Even being a few millimeters off can cause everything to go sideways. But Teddy finds that weird. Coco nailed it instantly during the test, so what's going wrong now? Coco had been flying back and forth, but she ended up ruining Agate's shoe and wanted to fix it before returning it. The problem is, her lines are all shaky. Krife takes a look and suggests the pen might not suit her. It's too heavy, so he decides they should go to a magic supply shop in the Witch's City. Coco immediately loses it. She's about to see magical materials. This is basically Disneyland for her. Cut to them heading straight to the Witch's City, Karam. As soon as they arrive, Coco is blown away by how many witches there are. Krife starts explaining the city's history. It was fortified to keep burrowing creatures out. But let's be honest, nobody's here for the history lesson. Agate says she's not interested in Coco's excitement and wants to be alone, so she walks ahead. Krife tells her to be careful and asks Coco if they're getting along. Yeah, totally fine. Sure. Coco is amazed by everything in the city. Every corner feels new. Then she glances into an alley. Something feels familiar. But Teddy calls her back before she gets lost. They finally arrive. This is the Starry Sword Shop. It's basically a dream store for any mage. Pens, inks, everything. And right in the middle stands a massive tree. An old man comments that seeing an apprentice amazed by a silver tree is rare. Krife introduces Coco as his new apprentice, and the old man almost has a heart attack. He had no idea this was the girl everyone's been talking about. He apologizes, and Teti introduces him as Mr. Tanoa. Tanoa proudly says everything there was made by him and his grandson, Tarta. He explains that he makes ink. Coco, being Coco, immediately asks how this not suspicious at all ink is made. Oh, the old man pauses like, alright, guess we're doing this, and takes her upstairs. On the way, she spots a kid peeling sugarcane like it's a snack break. Upstairs, Tanoa breaks off a black branch from the tree and places it into a container. It releases a dark liquid. He separates the ink from the water, and just like that, magical ink. It's the tree's blood. Once you dissolve it properly with hot water, you get usable ink. There's even a legend that says a tree once fell in love with a witch, offering its branches as wands and its sap as ink. Coco goes, wait, so it fell in love? What is this, Groot's cousin? The old man laughs and hands her some fresh ink to try. She's amazed and runs back down, asking Teddy which wand is the best. But outside, a man wearing a wide brim hat and an old mask is watching Coco. Total creep energy. Coco notices and bolts after him. Teti and Wright rush after Coco. Wright warns that if she runs off alone, she'll get lost. They chase her. Meanwhile, Agate is browsing at a stand when Coco sprints past her at full speed, with the others right behind. Teti calls Agate to join them. Coco runs between buildings chasing the masked guy. Then suddenly, a thick fog rolls in. Pencil gets left behind, and just like that, the girls vanish. When Agate catches up and asks what Coco is doing, Coco says she found the guy who sold her the forbidden book, but now there's no one there. They're somewhere else, and it definitely isn't the city. Wright notices the environment has completely changed. They're not in Karam anymore. Teti points out there was no portal window, so how did they get teleported? Coco suggests getting a higher view. Agate agrees. Teleportation without a portal is forbidden. Then Teti screams as she rushes back down, confirming this place is definitely not Karam. They need to get out, now! Agate asks what she saw. But it's not about what she saw, it's about what saw her. At the top of a structure, a man is controlling something. And that something is a massive blue dragon. The man says Coco is his hope. Cut back to the shop. Krife asks Tanoa if he's seen the girls. The old man assumes they left out of boredom, but Krife shuts that down immediately. No way. They'd spend all day in that shop, but that actually makes Tanoa pretty happy. Also, they wouldn't leave without saying thanks. Then Tarta mentions they ran after a masked guy with a wide brim hat. Krife immediately realizes what's going on. Cut back. Agate tells everyone not to move a muscle. No sudden movements. Eye contact stays locked. Slowly, they back away. And on her signal, they run. The dragon almost snaps them up. And the thing is huge. When it goes in for a bite on Agate, she fires off a spell that lights it up like a backyard grill. Yeah, that was clean. Coco asks how she did it. Fire magic combined with wind. She used a circle and closed it at the right moment to burn the creature. Coco is stunned. Then reality hits. They're trapped. Teti panics, saying the dragon is going to eat them. She hasn't even spread magic to the world yet. She looks at Coco, desperate. And Coco gets it. This is all because of her. Agate tells her to stay calm. She'll break a path open with a destruction spell. Coco notices the judgment in Agate's eyes, and honestly, she's not wrong. Teti prepares a wind spell and hides it in her clothes to distract the dragon. Maybe they can buy some time. Coco spots something on the wall and tries to warn Agate, but the timing couldn't be worse. Agate is mid-drawing, and when Coco touches her... Yeah, bad idea. Agate snaps, telling her never to touch her while she's drawing, that this whole mess is her fault. Coco apologizes, but Agate pushes further, blaming her for her mother being petrified, telling her not to do anything else. So now what? Bright steps in, says it's fine, and draws over Agate's spell, breaking the wall and opening an escape route. Nice one, right? Agate tells them to get away from this mess. Coco looks crushed. She grabs Teti's hat and calls out for Crife. Cut to Crife, who still has no idea where they are. The wide-brim hats have been hiding, but now they've revealed themselves. A group that uses forbidden magic, wearing old masks and hats. Crife asks Tarta if he knows anything else. The kid doesn't. Then Pencil shows up, and the sensei asks where the girls went. Crife heads to the spot where they disappeared. Hopefully, they're okay. And that's where the episode ends. Drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss the next videos, and let me know what you think about Witch Hat Atelier. Seriously, this anime is really good.